Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
We think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty. Welcome to Radio AMB. This is Patty Schmucker, and I'm here on healthylife.net. And American Made Beauty is the sponsor of Radio AMB. American Made Beauty is a beauty platform designed to help brands made in America reach domestic and international customers. If you are a consumer and would like to try some of those American-made beauties, please go to AmericanMadeBeauty.com and click on our consumer tab, and you would have a selection of brands that you can try. Today, I'm excited to have an opportunity to go back to actually my roots. As many of you know, I started out as an esthetician working behind the chair, and I was always fascinated with the selection of botanical ingredients to be able to create skincare products for my clients. And from a very early age, that was one of the things that I did. And so it's very exciting for me to find a artisan, someone who has been doing this all of her life, and as a result of it has built a business that is now taking nature's allies and turning them into formulas that help people directly affect their skin in a very positive way. So I'm excited to bring you my guest today is Emily Fritchey, and her company is Sunshine Botanicals. And in our feature segment, you'll learn a little bit about her, find out how she got into the business, and learn about what Sunshine Botanicals is all about. During our second segment that we call In the Jar, we'll talk about some of those natural allies and figure out how she selects them for the skin. And in our third segment today, we are going to talk a little bit about some of her success stories, some of the things that they're doing with regards to education. As we started last week, in our last segment today we will follow up on our conversation we started last week with regards to wellness. So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit more about our guest. Emily Fritchey is founder and CEO of Sunshine Botanicals, and she's a clinical esthetician, natural health practitioner, and passionate herbalist whose cutting-edge approach to dramatic skin transformation has made her not only a respected brand setter or trend setter among her peers in the field of aesthetics, plastic surgery, and dermatology, but an award-winning product formulator and expert in the development of botanicals for skin treatment. Welcome, Emily. I'm delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you, Patty. I'm very excited to be here.
So, you know, we as an esthetician, we had that common ground that you started out in the business. Tell us a little bit about was it natural? Did you know you wanted to get into skincare at an early age?
I did, because I had some very chronic skin issues that traditional medicine couldn't remedy. I had eczema, I had hives, and teenage acne. And I went through a medical revolving door, and this was before the Internet, it was before Sephora, it was before all the options that most consumers are overwhelmed with today, so it was left up to me to figure it out. I was given a round of drugs time after time, and when I would stop the medication, the problem would continue to come back, and I knew that there was a root cause, an underlying issue that was contributing to this, but there wasn't a doctor that could answer the question, which was, why do I have the problem? Mm-hmm. And it really started my journey, and I was a teenager at the time. And I began to study everything that I could get my hands on, and at that time it started with ingredients and products over the counter, because the only thing I knew at the time was topical treatment, and I wanted to understand why I had the problem, because I just wanted pretty skin. Mm-hmm. And it led me down a road of study that many years later took me through herbology, natural medicine, the study of iridology, which is the iris of the eye, and understanding nutrition and body systems and anatomy so that I could understand my own body enough so that I could be empowered to take control and find out what the underlying root issue was and if there was something that I could do on my own to remedy the problem.
And so what did you find? What was it that did it lead you to determine that you wanted to be into skincare, or were you able to first actually make a difference with your own skin?
They both happened at the same time.
Okay.
Because I became hyper aware of skin, and I would look at everybody. Men, women, children, and I wondered why everybody's skins were so different. The texture, the color, the elasticity, ages, some people very young looked very old, some people very old looked very young, and I was fascinated with skin. My father also had a series of skin cancers, so that was a huge issue in my family as well. And so, skin was a gigantic issue, and my own experience really was the root of my mission, and I went through that. I went through those experiences to help other people where I am today.
Right. And so you started out. You got an esthetician license. At that point,
there was no such thing.
I know, it was cosmetology. That's for me too. So you got a cosmetology license.
No, actually, I did not.
Okay.
No, aesthetics came many years later.
All right.
One of my first jobs was I worked with Helena Rubinstein.
Okay.
And at that time, we had two options. Mm-hmm. And I'm still fairly young, but at that time, barely. But at that time, we had two options, the department store and the doctor's office. Okay. So that's where my personal revolving door of trial and error in cosmetics came from. And I had the unique opportunity to work with a company called Helena Rubinstein, who was Elizabeth Arden's #1 nemesis back in the 30s and 40s, and they were pioneers in the beauty industry. And I had the opportunity to work with Madame Rubinstein's sister Mala in the Long Island plant for a couple days.
Okay.
A lot to that story, but I got a lot of insight from her, and I became fascinated with really cause and effect and product formulation. Mm-hmm. I wanted to understand product labels and ingredients and what was there and why. And at that time, I didn't really understand it in the way I just said it.
Right.
But what made things amazing and how products were different. So that's where I started. So my original roots were born in the retail area. Okay. And when aesthetics became an option, many years later, that's when I got my aesthetics license. Okay. And at that time, if you went to a spa, you were in a very high-end area. You were in New York or Dallas or L.A., and you were a very elite client, and it was not the day spa industry that it is today. Mm-hmm. So it was an unknown thing. So I'm very, very much a pioneer in that area, because I was very results-oriented at the time before I knew there was such a thing. Right. Because of my own skin conditions, and I was just determined. I just wanted pretty skin. That's all. Right. And through the years, some pretty amazing things have happened. Okay. So you got that great exposure with Helen Rubinstein, and were able to see what it was like when people came into the department store seeking the same thing you were seeking. Exactly. Is I want pretty skin. Yes, exactly. And so when you started working as an esthetician, lead us through that journey in terms of what happened. You got your license working as an esthetician. How did you get into make that bridge to actually get into product formulating? A passion for understanding why things worked. Okay. A passion for results. A passion for understanding the ingredients in the product that I was using. And I used everything on the market. And in my skincare practice, I had a little bit of every brand, every line out there. And they were all very, very similar. And as I began to study natural health and the body's ability to absorb a lot of ingredients and what caused things like skin congestion, thick texture, dull, blotchy skin. I wanted to know why it was there so I could get rid of it. Remember, go back to that was the annoyingly why kid. Why does this work? Right. So what happened in my practice was a gift to me because my husband's a very gifted herbalist. Mm-hmm. And as I got into aesthetics and the more training I took, I traveled all over the country and I've studied with every modality from, and this is a journey, from plastic surgeons and dermatology and high-end aesthetics education all the way to Mennonites and the Amish in Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was incredible. So my journey has really melded the best of all, because had I known what I know now early, and had I had access to some of these amazing Mennonite women who were midwives and just beautiful, incredibly brilliant people, my life would be very different. Mm-hmm. And because they really understood cause and effect and could really help you heal without drugs, surgery, and chemicals. And so I have taken the best of all worlds, because at the end of the day, people come to me because they want beautiful skin, and they're overwhelmed with information 24/7, 365, internet, TV, magazines, friends, Sephora, you name it, and people don't know what it's an overwhelming decision process for people to choose products, whether they want to just maintain good skin or correct problems. So my advantage of being able to study with the people I've studied with, and the way that I think like a chemist, but I work like an herbalist, because if I'm looking at your skin, I'm looking at three main things: texture, color, and the elasticity. How stretchy is it? Mm-hmm. So that we can prioritize where we need to begin on any single individual, so that we can create a protocol for results, that you get results quickly, and you're not just filling bathroom drawers with half-empty bottles, pots, and jars of trial and error.
Right.
So that's been my journey in the briefest way I know how to explain it.
And I find it really interesting in doing some of the research and talking with you in advance, this whole idea that is really one of the dilemmas that people are dealing with every day, is that we're being bombarded with all of this information and all of these quick fixes and that type of thing. And you mentioned something earlier about the fact that as a result of it, we fall into a cycle. Tell us a little bit about that cycle.
The cycle is typically cleanse, tone, moisturize. Mm-hmm. The cycle is, if you find something that works, you stay there. Mm-hmm. Skin changes, environment changes, your location changes, hormone changes, life changes. Mm-hmm. But we tend to, or many women tend to, stay in a place that is safe.
Right.
If you find something that you can trust, and you just kind of stay there, and then you're then you begin to age, and you're not sure where to go next. So it's a scary thing.
Right.
And cosmetics are expensive, so it's hard to know where to put your money and your time and your trust.
And when you are in a situation, you also talked about another cycle, that cycle of where we're damaging the skin because we're utilizing the wrong things.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that I see is how we've become conditioned by marketing. Mm-hmm. And marketing has most of us in a psychological state of corrective skincare products. Mm-hmm. If Dr. Oz is talking about it, if Oprah talks about it, if we see a celebrity using a product, everybody runs for the latest, greatest magic bullet without a real understanding of where are the basics, what are my needs, and is this product even appropriate for me? Mm-hmm. So skins are staying in a constant state of correction without understanding how to identify where I am, what do I need to start with, and then what I'm trying to say is identify the problem, create a protocol for correction, and then bring your skin back into a state of balance. Mm-hmm. Because so many things, the pH of products, acids, retinols, overuse of retinols, lasers, topical treatments of all sorts can really damage the protective acid mantle, damage the barrier function of the skin, lead to a chronic sense of inflammation, which can lead you back to the doctor's office for a diagnosis of rosacea when it's actually inflammation caused by an over-retinized skin in a constant state of correction. And women are doing the best they can with what they've been told, but we've been marketed magic bullets without having a good understanding of what does a good treatment protocol look like that gets results that will give me beautiful skin and won't poison my body or damage the epidermis in the process.
And I think that's really very important, is this whole education for consumers to understand that, yes, we can really do a lot more more with topical applied products than we've ever been able to do before. We understand, the technology has advanced, so we understand how the skin works. But these shock treatments, these, doing things that are constantly throwing the skin into these various different conditions without understanding, as you mentioned earlier, there's an acid mantle. That's a protective layer, and when you disrupt it, it's got to grow back. And it's a matter of hours, but the reality is that there is something that's actively going on, and understanding it is really, really an important factor.
I also see a lot of candida, topical candida, fungus on the skin.
Okay.
Because if the acid mantle is depleted, and if it's, with constant application of acids and retinoids on the skin, it can lead to inflammation, which is often diagnosed as rosacea, which is actually candida, because a chronic disruption of the acid mantle can open the skin up to bacterial infections, which can lead to a candidiasis. Mm-hmm. And that's a real big issue, and it can be extremely complex. But the exciting thing to me, certainly in my clinic, is how quickly we turn that around once we've identified what the causal factor is,
right,
and what's happening, and reducing the inflammation and using the God-given plant extracts, essential fatty acids, and ingredients to repair a damaged acid mantle so the skin functions normally. We should not be in a constant state of correction or need 12 corrective products in the bathroom.
Right.
We shouldn't. Identify the problem, get the right ingredients to correct it, and go to maintenance.
And skin is simple and you're right. I love the idea that one of the cycles that we fall into is one where we think it's cleanse, tone, moisturize. We find something that we like, and then we just stay there, not considering the seasons of the year. We move, our lives move, all of those kinds of things, and that we're, reacting and utilizing all of these corrective things and never considering to understand the basics of the way the skin functions.
Exactly.
You mentioned earlier something that I thought was fascinating, and that is that at the start of good skincare is a unique cleansing approach. Tell us a little bit about that.
The most important part of clear, beautiful, glowing skin is the most neglected by consumers, and that is cleansing and detoxification. We tend to spend 5 to 10 seconds, or the average person spends 10 seconds once a day cleansing their skin, and it's a topical cleanse with a basic cleanser at best, and then we reach for the expensive high-end serums, creams, and other products. It's a complete 180 in my approach. Mm-hmm. If you shift the thinking from corrective product to cleansing and detox, and you get that right, day after day and time after time, I've watched lots of skin problems clear themselves because we're now actually getting the skin clean so that it can breathe. And the approach I've developed for my brand is our double cleanse system. And what is double cleansing? Simply means it takes an oil to dissolve another oil. Coconut oil is a huge thing that we hear about on the market today. Mm-hmm. On the face, it's one of the most negative things you can use, simply because of the way it can really cause not only congestion, but the skin really can't breathe. Coconut oil is a wonderful healing, wonderful thing, but as a facial cleanser or a facial moisturizer it can be very devastating. Mm. So what I've done is I've created a double cleanse system, and the first product, if I may use a name, is called Pre-Cleanse and Detox, and it is grapeseed extract and hyaluronic acid that dissolves cosmetic waxes or melts cosmetic waxes, and also the sebum and the oils that secrete throughout the day that can plug the pores and cause the pores to stretch. What do I hear so much from people is, my pores are huge, and we're using peels and we're using devices and power brushes. And the very simple fact is, it takes an oil to cut an oil, the right oils. So Pre-Cleanse and Detox was designed it will even cut through theatrical makeup to dissolve wax and excess sebum that get trapped in the pore, that cause that pore to stretch and become larger. Once you start that dissolving process, and you do it gently but effectively, the pores will slowly, well, not slowly, sometimes pretty quickly, go back to their original size. Then it allows your primary cleanser, your second step, to dig deeper.
Got it.
Okay.
And so tell us again though why coconut oil particularly, because I heard a lot of people talk about that they're using coconut oil on their face. Why do you say that it's not ideal?
Because it's comedogenic. And it's going to plug the pores. The pores stretch, and it can slow down the exfoliation of the dead skin cells on the surface. There are good oils and bad oils. One of my favorite books is by Dr. Udo Erasmus, Oils That Heal and Oils That Kill. It's a wonderful book on essential fatty acids and the roles of oils. So, coconut oil, use it on your feet, use it on your body, but on the face it's going to be extremely congestive. And you're not going to have the glow, and you're going to have a heavy cellular buildup in the process. Okay.
And so that makes sense, that what we're trying to do in that very first layer, or that very first step, both morning and night, is that we've always said morning and night, but morning and night is to cleanse to a level in which you are focused on dissolving the oils and removing the cosmetic waxes that are building up in the pores.
So the skin can breathe.
Absolutely. Okay. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what's the next step after that double cleanse system. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Shh. Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the Internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com, and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Patty Schmucker on Radio AMB, broadcasted on HealthyLife.net. And I am here with Emily Fritchey of Sunshine Botanicals. And we've been talking about skincare in a rather unique approach that Emily has created over the years, which involves putting the emphasis on the cleansing process of your skin. And you talked about a double cleanse. That double cleanse step is actually, you're really talking about three cleanses. You're talking about one step that's a double cleanse, so it's a cleanse and a detoxify. And then you're talking about a second cleanser.
A deep cleanse.
A deep cleanse. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what one would be looking for as far as ingredients in that cleanse and detoxifying kind of product.
The right essential fatty acids, the right oils. We were talking about coconut oil. There are a lot of oils that are very congestive to the skin. There are other oils that are anti-inflammatory that will not plug the pores. So things that grapeseed extract, hyaluronic acid, jojoba. There are other types of oils that are really good. There's an oil cleanse method that's actually pretty huge in aesthetics, and the reason I created my pre-cleanse and detox is because it achieves the idea that the oil cleanse method does without leaving an oily residue behind, because a lot of, depending on the company, depending on the formula, you can still not achieve that tight pore look that most people are looking for. So the way the ingredients are blended dissolves makeup and waxes so that it gets rid of the surface daily gunk and the daily grime. Then it allows you to do your second cleansing step and focus on your issue. All I mean is, if you look in the mirror and you've got hyperpigmentation and you want to lighten brown spots, you're going to choose a lightening cleanser. If you have rosacea, eczema, or any type of itis, you're going to use a calming, creamy cleanser. And I've created one that is a wonderful antifungal, anti-candida cleansing bar that I've used with cancer patients, and it's also good especially for full body. And I've had women with chronic yeast infections vaginally that use this product, face and privates, and have had incredible results because it treats candida. And again, going back to whatever products people have been using that can leave the skin red and inflamed, you really need to consider candida as an issue and look at topical products that could aggravate that condition. So the double cleanse method simply means you remove the daily grime, surface, and waxes without stripping the skin. The skin can breathe. And then your second step in cleansing is your primary cleanser that targets your main issue, whether it's redness, brown spots, wrinkles, or aging.
Now let me ask you about that, because the conventional wisdom and the way that the industry has taught consumers is that don't really worry about the cleanser. I mean, you want something that's mild or sensitive if your skin's sensitive, or specifically designed for oily skin if your skin is oily. But your cleanser isn't really important because it's not going to stay on your skin for any length of time.
It sells more corrective products, doesn't it?
It sure does. That's a great point. It does, yeah.
The fact is, may I give you an illustration? Here is the visual that will help explain this. If you picture a brick wall, you've got bricks and you've got mortar. On all of our faces, the body secretes oil and water, and it secretes sebum. That's our nature's way of lubricating and moisturizing our skin. We also turn over a new layer of skin cells every 28 days, and those should, in a perfect world, shed on their own. Well, they don't. Think of oil and water as mortar, and think of dead skin cells as bricks. You've got bricks and mortar, and the more oils and the more congestion, it prevents the natural exfoliation of the skin, which leads to the need by many people to have peels or very aggressive treatments done, lasers, or using retinols to smooth out a rough, coarse skin, when that could be completely reversed by just spending more time on the right cleansing process. And I can have, my client's skin feels like ceramic. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And it's not magic, but it is magic in a way, the way the ingredients are put together and by doing the double cleanse step. It eliminates the need for many corrective products because you've taken care of the root cause.
Right.
You're not treating the symptom with a corrective product.
Right.
So cleansing is very important.
And so at night, we're talking about the double cleanse system, utilizing the cleanse and the detoxifier to remove the makeup and remove the day from the skin. And then you also talk about doing that deep cleanse, but that's not a slam bam. There's a real methodology behind that, correct?
There is. We have more cleansers, Patty, in our collection than any other product. So if you look at our website or you saw us on a store shelf, it would be, wow, look at this, because it is that critical. You can see change happen to the skin in the matter of a day or two if you get that right. By doing the pre-cleanse and then following with the specific cleanser for your primary need, and you don't rush through the process, and you spend at least 60 seconds on each step, The directions are on the containers, but you don't rush through it. Most people give it a lick and a promise, 15 seconds, and we're done. And I challenge, and I'd like to even issue a challenge. Maybe we can do this one day. I challenge anybody with the greatest, highest end skincare line you've got to do my double cleanse method for 3 days and tell me what you see. And it's just a matter of addressing the root cause and eliminating the mortar, that the sebum, the wax, the cosmetic oils that keep the dead skin locked so that it doesn't shed naturally.
Right.
So the skin gets coarse, it's no longer glowing, it's not reflecting light, and then we're buying all the other makeup and products to give us a glow. The glow is there. And I love the analogy, too, of an onion. If you take an onion out of the vegetable bin, to make dinner, if you peel all away the hard, dry outer layers underneath, you've got a tight onion. That's what our skins really look like. Right,
exactly. And that's a great visual picture as well, is to be able to see the difference with that. I love this whole idea of making it very simple. I mean, that whole idea that by properly cleansing, and when we talk about that double cleanse, that cleansing and detoxifying, and then followed by the deep cleansing, do you do that both morning and night?
Yes.
Okay. So in the morning it requires the 2 steps as well.
Actually, it depends on the skin. If the skin is super congested, the pores are really large, or there's a chronic skin problem, I recommend doing the double cleanse twice a day for 30 days.
Okay.
And then your clearing will be there. You can go to the double cleanse at night only. But why is it important to cleanse your skin in the morning? The reason is, at night the body is at rest. It's secreting all types of waste, just like urine and feces and exhalation. The body's getting rid of waste. So when you wake up in the morning, that same cleansing step is really important, because your body is throwing off a lot of waste via the pores, because the skin's the largest respiratory organ on the body. And even though you think it's clean and it looks clean, cleanse it in the morning with the right cleanser, and the skin will just continue to improve and clarify.
Great point, and that is the body is resting at night. That is when the skin is constantly exfoliating and getting rid of and purifying, so you want that cleansing in the morning. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the ritual and talk a little bit about ingredients. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need, from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap state. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Patty Schmucker. I'm your host here on Radio AMB, and I'm here with Emily Fritchey. I apologize. Emily Fritchey is with me today from Sunshine Botanicals. And we're talking about skincare and a rather unique approach to the way to take care of skin that's unique but so common sense, because the body is what it is, the way that the skin functions, we know how that is, and it seems like the way that you've approached it is really just makes a whole bunch of sense to me.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the kinds of conditions that people are experiencing in this day and age. The environment's changing and things like that. What do you most commonly see?
Sun damage and texture issues.
Okay. And what's the things that you, when you're talking about texture, what does that mean?
Simple way to think about texture is close your eyes, reach up and touch your skin, and see how it feels. Mm-hmm. Skin can feel like ceramic. It can feel like glass, be beautiful and glowing. And you should never have to wear foundation other than if you want it for a cosmetic effect, but not to cover products. So skin texture is a really big thing. And it is because you've got that cellular buildup that we were talking about earlier. And, especially with large pores and things like, there are some wonderful alpha and beta hydroxy acids that can be blended with things like chlorophyll and spearmint that can make a wonderful cleansing combination, malic and tartaric acid, pumpkin enzymes. I'm big on enzymes, and I love to blend enzymes and acids together because they digest dead skin material. Mm-hmm. So after you do the dermal or the pre-cleanse and detox, you've removed oils, wax, and waste, and now these other ingredients can work directly on the skin, not just to remove makeup, to change the texture. So those are some of the things that you want to look for, because it can dramatically change the skin very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. So skin texture is a big thing. That's the thing I see the most. I see a lot of effects from environmental damage, and I see a combination of inflammation and hyperpigmentation. And I have many clients that come in with, and this goes back to prioritizing which treatment, not which treatment, but which condition we need to address the most. Because it's not uncommon to see someone with a lot of inflammation and hyperpigmentation together. So we have to prioritize which one we're going to address first, and putting out the fire and reducing the inflammation and working on the gut and taking supplements like protease and anti-inflammatories and looking at the diet is really important. That's a whole other discussion. But anyway, prioritizing the skin condition is huge, and we see more and more of that, especially with the environment and the
ozone.
Thank you.
Good thing we're together.
Yeah. Being so depleted, yes. And people, misunderstanding sun protection, which that's a whole show all in itself. So environmental damage is huge, and that can result in red skin. It can result in distended capillaries, spider veins, and hyperpigmentation. So prioritizing that is very important.
Well, and as we talked about in our previous segment, that one of the cycles we fall into with regards to taking care of not only of our skin, but overall our bodies, is that we find something that works, and when we get stuck there, we stay there.
Yes.
And never taking into consideration that there are changing factors around us that really require that evaluation. So what do you suggest to people? I mean, obviously people would love to come and see you. You're in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. If they didn't have the opportunity to come and see you, how do people get to work with a professional like yourself to understand how to be evaluating and on ongoing making changes for their skin and body?
The first thing I would suggest is look in the mirror very, very closely.
Mm-hmm.
And think about this. What concerns me the most? If I could change any one thing, what would it be?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And I break complicated things down into 3 different quadrants: texture, color, and elasticity. Is your texture smooth? Is the color splotchy from whatever reason? Do we have sagging and drooping? And there is no product on the planet that addresses all of that in one, which I go back to my double cleanse foundation, because if you get that right, many of these things take care of themselves and then will reveal what your real true priority is. So look in the mirror, decide what is important to you, and understand those 3 elements as it applies to you.
Mm-hmm.
Understand, and I'll be redundant, texture, color, and elasticity. Does it stretch anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And that will help you know, where do I need to start?
Mm-hmm. And so being able to approach it from the very basics, making sure that you're cleansing morning and night.
Yes.
Making sure that you're taking care of some of the basics as far as the body. Water.
Water. Yes.
Your gut health you mentioned earlier too.
Yes. Probiotics, digestive enzymes, herbs like milk thistle for liver support. It's extremely important because there are, whenever you see a rosacea condition or a chronic condition, even with my clients with, especially with menopausal and hormone changes are gigantic, thyroid and adrenal glands can be affected as well. And there are so many supplements and so many places to start. When it comes to skin, the most important thing in the world is to focus on the gut and start juicing.
Juicing. Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have a recipe for a green juice that's phenomenal that will alkalize the body. You want to think alkalize to reduce acid, because acid is at the root of all the inflammatory processes in the body. So focus on a simple gut protocol. Get your juicer out. There's a recipe you can pull online for green lemonade, and it's very alkalizing to the body. So look at green drinks and do it for about a week, and you'll watch your face lose 5 pounds because the puffiness will be gone. Mm-hmm. It's pretty amazing.
And that is, when we look at skincare, when we look at overall taking care of the body, the things that can minimize inflammation.
Yes.
In so many ways can make us feel and look so much better.
Yes.
So and you're talking about alkalinity and acid.
Yes.
Expand on that a little bit and why that plays such an important factor in inflammation.
There's a term that's been coined, inflammaging.
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 Okay.
Inflammation is at the root of every health issue, and it's at the root of aging. There are many things that cause the body to become acidic. Number 1 is stress. Well, maybe number 2 is stress. Our diets, we eat very high protein diets. Most people are in a hurry and are eating in the car, and the world we live in right now is extremely stressful. Many things produce an acid state in the body. The body is naturally designed to alkalize itself. It's the way God designed us. And if we are in an extreme state of inflammation, and I'm talking systemic inflammation, the body will draw calcium from the bone because calcium is alkaline. It will draw calcium from the bone to put the fire out in the body, which leads to osteoporosis and joint pain. So the body's designed to be self-healing, but most of us don't understand any of that. So by looking, you can simply pull up on the computer acid and alkaline forming foods, make better choices in the foods, and try to alkalize an acid system, and do some yoga and deep breathing and calm, and use calming ingredients on your skin. So there you go.
Emily, it's been a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you. If somebody wanted to learn a little bit more about what you do and the products that you offer, how do they reach you?
They reach us at www.sunshinebotanicals.com. They can find us on Instagram and on Facebook.
Great. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Oh, man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
Welcome back. This is Patty Schmucker with Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. We talked in the last week, we introduced a new segment here at the end of the show called our Wellness segment, and we're planning on focusing this year on bringing you topics about wellness. And the reason for it is twofold. One is it is an amazing economy that is growing in the world globally to help people address how to optimize our human performance. And you heard our guest that we had on today, Emily Fritchey with Sunshine Botanicals, and she talked a little bit about how important it is to be aware of the way the body works, the kinds of things that create stress. She used an interesting term that I don't think I've ever heard before, and that's inflammaging. And that it really is a very important thing to understand. And the wellness economy is growing by leaps and bounds as people are beginning to understand that we have to take a proactive approach to the way that we're going to take care of ourselves. The Global Wellness Institute is a nonprofit 501c3, which is considered the leading global research and education resource for global wellness industry. And it has basically been monitoring the global economy for a number of years. And this year's 2017 report has recently been released and giving us some great insight overall in terms of what's going on in the global sector and who the players are. So the interesting part of this is that within the global economy, as it's called, beauty and anti-aging is the biggest player in it at a $999 billion industry. And behind that is healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss. Also considered as part of the wellness economy is wellness tourism, where people are actually going for vacations that are devoted to developing wellness lifestyles. On an ongoing basis, fitness and mind and body is another aspect of the wellness community, as well as personalized medicine, public health, complementary and alternative medicines, and wellness lifestyle real estate. The three smallest segments of the wellness economy is the spa industry, thermal mineral springs, and workplace wellness. What I find very interesting, and as we go through this next 8 to 10 months, we're actually building up to the United States is going to be hosting in October of this year the Global Wellness Summit in Florida. And it is going to be a platform where the global world economy comes together once a year and has been doing this now for about 10 years, where they bring the best of minds together to talk more about ways to advance the science, to document the results that people are having, and to think about the ways that humans are living and how to improve the way that they can take advantage of wellness options that are out there. My own personal goal, as I mentioned, this process is sort of twofold. One is to really understand the wellness economy, and two is I'm almost 60. I'll be 60 in a matter of 14 months, and I'd really like to use this 14 months as an opportunity to see how I can optimize my own personal health. And so when I looked at this economy, this wellness economy, what struck me is that beauty and anti-aging is our biggest sector. And if you heard our guest earlier, and if you missed it, go back and listen to this segment. Emily talked about the idea that inflammation is the biggest problem that people have, and inflammation is caused as a result of stress on the body, external stresses, not being able to manage stress properly, keeping the body in a situation in which it is taking in and being treated with too much acid that we're drinking in our foods or eating in our foods and drinking. So all of the kinds of things that we can do to, number one, learn about the body, how it works, learn about the mind and how it works, work with our spirit, and being able to take time to breathe and relax and manage stress are the kinds of things that I think are going to be making such a huge difference with regards to the way that we take care of ourselves. And the wellness economy is offering more and more of these opportunities. So as we wrap up this particular segment and this part of the show, I'll leave you with one little tidbit about wellness, and that is the idea that stress that we experience in our life is oftentimes as a result of not taking the time to digest the type of things that are happening in the world around us. And I know that a lot of us at this particular time in the world are experiencing a great deal of stress because of the circumstances that are existing outside of us. And I think that by being involved and connected to a wellness ritual, to have more dialogue going around wellness, again, somewhat of a personal reason for my taking the time to spend more time with wellness, is that our Western approach to taking care of ourselves is looking at symptoms rather than causes. And I really loved our guest today who took the time to really talk about the idea that we need to look at root causes. Why is it that certain skin conditions exist? And there's a reason for it biologically in the body, and understanding that. And it's the same thing with stress. When we're feeling stress, the reality is that difficult things happen in our lives, and difficult things are happening right now in our lives around us in the world, for those of you who are here in the United States, and actually I would say anywhere in the world is being affected by some of the difficult things that the choices that this country has made, and we have to figure out how to work with that. And so it's taking time to breathe and to understand that we live one day at a time, and all of the various different things that happen in the world and happen in our little individual worlds can be processed. One of the best sayings comes from the Ayurvedic tradition is, "This too shall pass." And so when I'm feeling at the most vulnerable or the most difficult emotions, which often can be sadness or anger or loneliness, one of the things that happens for me is to take the time to just breathe and to be present with it, to understand that all of those emotions are vital to our wellness. And by taking the time to acknowledge it and be present with it and spending some time with us, but recognizing that that little saying that this too shall pass, that this is not something that's a permanent feeling or circumstances. One of my friends, I had breakfast with someone recently who, a mentor who I felt I needed to go and talk to because I'm having some anxiety over the political situation in this country. And he said to me, in so many words, this too shall pass. There is a period of time that we will have to endure what we're enduring right now, but it will pass. And in the present moment, it's to recognize those emotions, let them be present with them, and digest them. Whether we're talking about skincare or we're talking about emotions, the reality is that our body is a filter that interacts with our external environment. So learning how to do that is the ultimate condition of wellness. And so each week we hope that we'll bring you these kinds of information and tips that will help to make your world a little more well. Thanks for being with us today. Next week we will bring you an exciting story with Mark Pardo, one of the gentlemen who owns 5 salons and one of the leading schools in New Mexico. So we'll learn about how New Mexico does beauty. Stay with us for our show next week. Thanks again for being with us. Send us your questions and comments to requests at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. And we think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
HealthyLife.net, the Positive Radio Network.